Hi there guys, welcome to Mortal Realms issue 21. So we've got reinforcements of the Dreadscythe Harridans today. So let's see what we have. Oh, interesting, I just missed it. Your first battle plan and war scrolls. Interesting, that's good. Okay, in this issue is a milestone for your journey into Warhammer Age of Sigmar, as it contains the first game that is not a playthrough. While the playthroughs walk you through your games with step-by-step examples, you'll now use reference sheets and war scrolls to play your games. Don't worry, you've learned most of the rules already, and there will be tutorials for you to learn anything new. Future issues will include more war scrolls, tutorials and battle plans for you to master as you learn to play. Okay, that's really interesting. So we are taking a different tack moving forward from here. So let's get through this and then we'll take a look. Now, we also got this to go through, War of Life, which is a fold out. We'll get to that a bit later. Okay, in this issue, Storm Hosts, learning about many Storm Hosts and their distinct ways of war, learning about Chaos Gods, of Bones and Blood. This book is a guide to the undead creatures that haunt the realm of death. Building our Harridans, painting them. Then we've got our first reference sheet, then some war scrolls, and then we've got a battle plan, the Haunted Wilds. In this battle plan, Sequitors attack the Nighthaunt to establish a beachhead. Okay, then we've got a Ghyran map, which is our fold out. This fold out map showcases the evergreen swathe in Ghyran and the conflict between the goddess of life, Alariel, and the plague god Nurgle. So let's actually take a look at that first. The War of Life has raged since the Age of Chaos. It shows no sign of slowing down. Alariel and her Sylvaneth children seek to scour their foes from the Jade Kingdom and restore the lands to their former verdant glory. We can see a pretty grim battle there between the Sylvaneth and Nurgle. So let's see what we've got. This is just about Nurgle, who they are. The Nurgle is a chaos god of disease and decay, whose power is great when death and despair ravage the mortal realms. Though his enemies fear him, he bestows generous gifts upon his followers. And then a bit about Alariel. Alariel is the queen of the radiant wood, all mother of Ghyran and goddess of the realm of life. Like nature itself, Alariel is both beautiful and merciless. Okay. So, this is our pull out. Quite a nice map here actually. So places of interest. The Everspring Swathe is one of the largest regions of Ghyran. There are many places of wonder and beauty, as well as foul bastions of corruption and pox. Okay, this is nice. That's good. I look forward to going through that in more detail. Okay, back to the mag. A band of brothers. When an unusual or seemingly impossible objective arises, the Storm Host leader or one of his lesser lords will raise a formation designed to achieve that particular goal. The most common of these temporary formations are known as brotherhoods. Brotherhoods may include units selected from across a number of different chambers. Usually these formations are carefully assembled and planned to ensure the mission is a success. Okay. And then we've got more different types here. These are cool. My favourite of these is, I suppose, the Radiant Sons of Sigmar. But they are all pretty cool. Okay, then we look at the Chaos Gods. From beyond the boundaries of reality, the Chaos Gods look upon the 8 realms with hungry eyes. It is in their nature to destroy. Relentless and unstoppable, they seek to invade and corrupt reality. So we've got Nurgle, the Lord of Disease, delights in decay and physical corruption. The cycle of decay, rebirth and death draws Nurgle the way a corpse draws flies. During times of pestilence and rampant contagion, Nurgle becomes stronger to the great dismay of his rivals. Then we've got Khorne, blood for the blood god. Khorne is the most powerful of the Chaos Gods. No subtlety has he, for Khorne is the blood god, the lord of skulls. There is room in his black heart for rage and rage alone. Khorne only desires are slaughter and warfare. He seeks to test his might against the most powerful of foes. Then we've got the Great Horned Rat of Skaven. The Great Horned Rat is blight and pestilence given form. Having recently ascended to godhood, the god of the Skaven is not considered an equal by his brothers. However, treacherous plotting has always been the way of vermin. Soon he will rise. Then we've got Slaanesh. Slaanesh is the Dark Prince, god of excess and the lord of pleasure, the most beautiful of the Chaos gods. Slaanesh's throne is currently empty. However, for the god himself is lost. His minions feel despair and confusion at his absence, while the remaining powers rejoice. Okay, then we've got Tzeentch. Tzeentch domains are magic and cunning, for he is the god of sorcery and deceit. The changer of ways, the great manipulator and architect of fate, is forever coming up with new schemes, plots within plots that are beyond the understanding of mere mortals. Okay, so what have we got now? Of Bones and Blood. Encounters with the Dead by Tyrus von Stat. Okay, so this looks like it might be a new little series that goes on in here. So we've got Death number 2. Okay, interesting. Welcome, reader, to the personal journals of one Tyrus von Stat. Sigmar save his soul. The author was at once an artist, occultist, scientist, and true son of Lethis. This journal is a record of von Stat's interactions with, investigations of, and observations on the undead. The accounts within are not suitable for those of a nervous disposition and are graphic in their descriptions of the horrors that lurk in the expansive wilderness of Shyish. Okay, that sounds awesome, to be honest. I really look forward to the continuation of Bones and Blood. Brilliant. I look forward to that. Okay, so let's have a look at our Harridans. I've already built them. Now, these are exactly the same as our last ones, with one very small difference. So if I look at all the ones that we've already received, they are 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these are all identical to the ones we received previously. So the only difference is the sprue is exactly the same. Now the last ones we received, we got this model, and this is one of the leaders. Now there was one part left on the sprue from this, and basically all we did was, with this issue, we swapped that part out for another one to create this. So this is just another standard Harridan. So that's the leader of the little troop, and that is the alternate sculpt. So you can see that other than the arms, they are the same sculpt. So that's that. So that is our models for this week, and I do like the Dreadscythe Harridans as well. They are cool. Okay, so that's that. I'm a complete bloody moron. So when I started to edit this video, I realised that after I'd showed the miniatures, I didn't refocus the camera, which meant that the entire rest of the video was completely blurry. So let's wander back, and I'll do this a second time. So we've got our painting for the Dreadscythe Harridans. So we've got Corex White, Nylic Oxide, Cantor Blue, Abaddon Black, and Dryad Bark. And as usual, Corex White all over, Nylic Oxide all over, dry brush of Corex White, Cantor Blue on the fabric, Abaddon Black on the hair, and Dryad Bark on the roses and stuff. And that means it will be like this when you're done. Okay, now, so very, very good stuff. So we are now on to the playthrough. In this issue, rather than a playthrough, you'll be playing your first battle plan. This reference sheet has been designed to guide you through the basic game of Age of Sigmar. You'll be using this reference sheet for battle plans in several future issues, so file it away safely. Okay, so this first page gives us a little bit of information. So it starts with the rolling off for the round, and then it gives us some of our abilities. So a command, it's a movement phase command ability, charge phase 1 and battle shock 1. And then it's got our 2 hero phase magic casts, which is the Arcane Bolt and the Mystic Shield. So it's got the turn sequence here, and it brings us through the hero phase, the movement phase, shooting, charge, combat and battle shock. Now what we've got is we are looking at the War Scroll cards. So if you were to buy a battle tome for Age of Sigmar, here's one here. So this is the one for Slaves to Darkness. And in this, we've got all of the different War Scroll cards. So there's one for every unit available in the faction. And that is what's happened here. So it's been reproduced here for us. So for example, this is for our Sequitors. So it's showing the options. So the Storm Smite Maul, which is what most of the Sequitors have, and the Storm Smite Great Mace, which is what we can have. I think it's 1 in every 5 can have a Storm Smite Great Mace. And then all of their different stats and that kind of thing. All of their standard stuff, we've seen this before. The abilities that they've got, and the description of the Sequitors, what they are, as well as a bit about a Sequitor Prime, which is the leader of the Sequitors. So however many you've got a Sequitor Prime, that's the leader of the group. And that leader, basically like a sergeant in 40k. Now the very, very cool thing that we've got is on the back of this sheet, we've got all the abilities that the Sequitors can do. So the Great Mace that we spoke about, so again, his hits are different. So if he rolls a 6 on hits, he does D3 hits, which is good. And there are other things, Etheric Channeling, Soul Shields. So yeah, we get a bit more information, which is very, very cool. And it's the same with the Chain Rasp, so it will be the same for all the other War Scrolls from here on in. In fact, when we're done with this, if you've got the abilities down, you can actually cut these out, I suppose. Maybe mount them on something to keep them. Because something else you can get, if you don't want to get, well, sorry, you'll need the battle tome to be able to do it, but something else that you can buy is dedicated War Scroll cards. So basically, it takes all of the War Scrolls from one of these books and just puts them into card form so you can refer to it. And these cards generally come with everything that is available for that faction at the time that the cards are released. So that's good. So yeah, once you know all the abilities, if you did want to cut them out and mount them on something, that might be a pretty good idea. Now this also signals, I believe, where we stop slowly bleeding in all of the abilities of different units and models that we get. So what we've had previously is we might get a new model, and over time we would learn about all their different abilities, maybe growing their stats and that kind of thing slowly. From here on in, I think we'll just be getting straight down to the War Scrolls, so we'll have everything available to them. So that's very cool. Okay, so we've got the Haunted Wilds. The battle in Shyish has drawn to a close, and the Amethyst stave sought by the Stormcast Eternals has been broken into, and the Nighthaunts have escaped with a crucial component. Okay, so that's our little lead-ins for what we've got. And then we're moving on to our new battle map, and we've got 5 Sequitors up against 15 Chain Rasps, so we'll be using our War Scrolls for those. The setup is the players alternate setting up units one at a time, starting with the Stormcast Eternals player. Stormcast Eternals unit must be set up wholly within their territory. Nighthaunt unit must be set up wholly within their territory. The printed terrain on the battle mat has no effect in your games. Your models may move and fight over it as if it was not there. First turn is Stormcast Eternals, so that's ignoring the roll-off. Follow the instructions on reference sheet 1, Battle Plans A, Guy Round 1, which is this one. Okay, so victory. How do you get victory? The game ends when one player has no models left on the battlefield. And I can say that 5 Sequitors up against 15 Chain Rasps, I think, is a pretty easy win for the Sequitors, especially if they're going first, although they can't get into combat in the first go. But anyway, so that's good. I'll come back to that and do the full playthrough very soon. Again, I'm doing all my playthrough catch-ups over the beginning of next week. I have fell behind. Obviously, this is late, so I fell behind. So things like painting guides and assembly guides and all that kind of thing, they're all falling by the wayside now, just so as we can concentrate and catch up with those playthroughs. Okay, so what have we got coming up? Next issue, which I've already reviewed, but need to do the editing and upload, number 22, Mephiston Red and Raykar Flesh. Now, so we know that some people believe the paint issues to be pretty damn dull, and they are. But only in terms of we don't get some nice plastic to make up. But this is a bloody good issue, so make sure you tune in for issue 22, which I'll be uploading. So this will be going out Tuesday night. This will be going out Wednesday morning. And then next week, I'll be reviewing issue 23. So we've got Liberators, which they look very much like Sequitors, except they've got these hammers. And we've got a Prosecutor, the Flying Prosecutor. So I've got a few Liberators, but not a Prosecutor. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So I will be back tomorrow with more Mortal Realms. Playthroughs coming soon. Issue 23, definitely one to look forward to. So as ever, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.